Guys, we are lucky to have Precious Muir here, and she's been at the Diddy parties, and she's about to spill some secrets.
Yeah, but so there's still, it's crazy too because there's still more happening in court. Everything is still active, even though we're not hearing about it as much anymore, and the people may be fatigued, like we talked about prior to.
Shocking, scandalous, and downright unbelievable. That's how many are reacting to the explosive revelations surrounding Sean Diddy Combs and the notorious white parties he once hosted. Once regarded as the pinnacle of celebrity culture, these glamorous gatherings are now under intense scrutiny as former guests come forward with chilling accounts of what truly took place behind the glittering facade. One of the most eye-opening testimonies comes from Precious Muir, a former model and Playboy bunny, whose first-hand account has sent shockwaves through the entertainment world. If you thought you knew the story, think again, because the truth emerging is far darker than anyone could have ever imagined.
Wait a minute, say that again. Say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood, but one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of.
Precious Muir, now a British TV presenter, has recently broken her silence after years of staying quiet about the harrowing experiences she witnessed and endured as a young model navigating New York City's elite circles in the early 2000s. Invited to one of Diddy's infamous white parties, she initially saw it as a golden opportunity to propel her career. After all, these exclusive events were renowned as the ultimate networking hubs where mingling with A-list celebrities could lead to life-changing opportunities. However, what she encountered instead was a disturbing initiation into the darker side of the entertainment industry, one that made her feel more like prey than a guest.
And the reason why I never pursued a month is because being Playboy of the Month, I was told there was insinuations multiple times that I had to do something to stand out to Hefner and the team. And that to me seemed like there was a underlining tone of what is it that I have to do to get this role.
Speaking to the Mirror, Precious Muir described her initial excitement after receiving an exclusive invitation to a VIP event at Diddy's mansion in the Hamptons. Diddy's team spared no expense, arranging luxurious black SUVs to pick up Muir and a group of other young models from Manhattan and chauffeured them to Long Island. The journey itself felt like a scene straight out of a movie, with Muir recalling the growing sense of anticipation among the group. She was new to the scene and barely knew the other women in the car, but the promise of glitz and glamour made the ride feel special. However, nothing could have prepared her for what awaited her when she arrived. As soon as she stepped into the sprawling mansion, it was clear that the atmosphere was far from professional. Muir described feeling out of place, acutely aware that she and the other young women stood out as fresh faces in a crowd of established celebrities and industry insiders. "We were very vulnerable," she recalled, explaining how their inexperience made them easy targets. "People could tell we were new talent, and we were seen as fresh meat."
Welcome to Popcorn Planet's The Interview, the series where we get in depth with amazing people, and I'm so honored to have this special guest with us here. Precious Muir, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, my love?
I'm great. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm making sure I center you a little bit more. There we go. So honored to have you here. You have some stories to tell. You've survived the white parties.
The party began innocently enough, with champagne flowing freely and music blaring across the property. But as the day wore on and the sun began to set, the atmosphere started to shift. Muir recalled watching women dressed provocatively, some slipping into behavior that could only be described as uninhibited. It didn't take long for her to realize that the party had multiple layers, what she referred to as phases, that revealed themselves the longer you stayed. By the time the night progressed into its later stages, the event had morphed into something much darker.
Okay, so basically I was a Playboy bunny. So a Playboy bunny representing New York State. The reason why I need to clarify this is when you're a Playboy bunny, you are part of the corporation and you are a bunny and you do have a title and you wear a uniform, but you don't get a month.
Muir admitted that as a newcomer, she felt a mix of fascination and fear. On one hand, she was immersed in a world of opulence, surrounded by faces she had only seen on magazine covers or television screens. On the other hand, the blatant objectification she experienced left her questioning whether attending had been the right decision. "You have to understand," she said, "we were young, trying to make something of ourselves, and this felt like an opportunity to get ahead, but it came at a price." One of the most unsettling aspects of the party, she revealed, was how it seemed deliberately designed to test boundaries. Muir recalled how guests were offered drinks and shots that she instinctively knew to avoid. "I never drank anything that wasn't freshly opened," she explained. "If I put my glass down, I didn't pick it back up. I was very cautious because I could see where things were heading." She warned her friends to follow the same precautions, advising them to stay vigilant in an environment where trust was a luxury they simply couldn't afford.
But like I said, the entertainment industry is very, very, very messed up when it comes to, the bigger you get, the more you had to do to get there. And so if you're not willing to put yourself in that position, you kind of have to put your foot.
The longer she stayed, the more it became clear that Diddy's white parties were about more than just networking or having fun. Muir described witnessing behavior that made her feel deeply uncomfortable, from couples engaging in intimate acts in plain sight to the presence of substances she refused to touch. She heard unsettling sounds coming from bathrooms and bedrooms that left little to the imagination.
And it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes, this was actually in his Atlanta home, at
Okay.
a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotape.
What made the experience even more troubling was the presence of young attendees who seemed out of place. Muir recalled seeing minors at the party during the daytime, a detail that still haunts her. While the event grew more explicit as night fell, the fact that minors were present at any point raised serious concerns about the judgment of those involved. Despite the discomfort she felt, Muir admitted that she continued attending similar events encouraged by her agents and peers, who insisted it was an essential part of the job. In some ways, they weren't wrong. Muir credited the connections she made at Diddy's parties with helping her land a role as a green room model on MTV's Hip Hop Squares, along with other paid gigs and photo shoots.